Hey friend, welcome back to Call Her Creator, powered by your all-in-one creator store, Stan. Stan is the easiest way for you to make money online. All of your courses, digital products, and bookings are hosted within your link in bio. If you're ready to start your free trial, visit my show notes and click my affiliate link to get started today. If you're stuck on what to post, this episode is going to give you a full month of content ideas. If you're one of those people that tends to overthink every post, which then puts you into post paralysis is what I like to call it, meaning you end up posting nothing, then this episode is for you. Today, I'm going to break down the 5 types of content that actually convert, no matter what your following size is. This is the same framework I use for my agency clients, my own brand, and yes, even for some of the bigger names in the industry that I get to work with behind the scenes. You don't need 10,000 followers to make a name for yourself on Instagram. You just need to post with intention. And these 5 content types that I'm going to show you are exactly where you can start. Hey friend, welcome back to Call Her Creator, the podcast that helps you turn your content into cash and your ideas into real income. Whether you're a seasoned creator or side hustling your way to freedom, you're in the right place, mama. This episode today is brought to you by Stan Store, my go-to platform for monetizing online with ease. Think of it as your digital storefront for everything, your courses, digital downloads, coaching offers, memberships, affiliate links. It's all in one place. Stan makes it insanely easy to start making money as a creator. No tech headaches, no piecing together 5 different platforms, just one clean, beautiful storefront that works for you 24/7. And the best part about it is that you can set up your Stan Store completely free using my link. Just go to join.stan.store/callhercreator. All right, let's get into today's episode. So I want to clear this up first and foremost right away. Not all content is created equal. Posting just to stay consistent, that's not your goal anymore. We're here to create content that builds trust, drives engagement, and leads people to take action. Whether that's buying, booking, subscribing, sharing, whatever it is, you've got to have some specific call to action that drives that engagement. I've seen creators sell thousands of dollars with under 1,000 followers because they had a clear content system like the one that I'm about to teach you. So before we get into the 5 types of content that convert, I have 3 quick actions that I want you to take right now. So if you're on your money walk, this will be easy for you. If you're driving, come back to this part. I don't want you opening your phone while you're driving. But the first step here is I want you to open your notes app on your phone and just label it something easy like content that converts. And then I want you to use it as your swipe file for this episode. You'll want a place to jot down ideas as I walk you through each content type that converts. Number 2, I need you to mentally block 30 minutes this week to create content from this framework that I'm teaching you. Not perfect content, okay? Just progress. The more you overthink it, the more likely you are going to stay stuck and you're not going to post anything at all. So we just gotta do it. I think the Mel Robbins is 3, 2, 1, and then you do it. So I'm telling you, 3, 2, 1, you're going to do it. And then number 3 is ask yourself this: what do you actually want your content to do? Do you want to grow your following? Do you want to sell an offer? Do you want to build credibility? I'm sure you want all of those, but knowing your goal will help you use this framework with purpose. All right, drum roll please. Let's lay out your content. These are the 5 types of content that convert. Each of these content types serves a different purpose, okay? But all together, they build a very well-rounded, high-converting strategy. We use this with our agency clients at Influence Marketing Studio. I use this with the big names that you don't even know that I'm helping behind the scenes. I use it for my own content. This stuff works. So the first type of content is my favorite type of content. And if you actually go to my page, most of my reels that aren't like the easy trending reel ideas are going to be what I like to call connective content. And this is the type of content that like lets your audience know like, hey, I see you. This helps them feel understood by you and it builds trust with your audience. So some examples of this would be like those point of view type reels that you see. So like point of view, you're scared to launch again because the last time it flopped, or let me guess, you're the friend who always shows up for others, but doesn't ask for help yourself. Those are those connective type hooks that when someone's scrolling, they're going to be like, oh my God, she's talking to me. Like those are the type of content that connect with people and make them feel seen, heard, some kind of emotion. And I always talk about emotional storytelling and how it evokes, like when you evoke emotion, you almost tell them that it's okay for whatever they're feeling. So that's the first type of content, is the connective content. And for your notes, you can put like point of view style content. If you need an example of this, you can totally go to my Instagram page. I'm going to go to it right now, actually, just to see. Let's see. Do I have any point of view? Okay. So if we go to the Call Her Creator page, actually, I've got the last 3 reels that I've posted on Call Her Creator are connective content. They're the point of view type hooks. So I've got one point of view. You've never had a strategy for what to do after you post. So that's me like, wouldn't you connect with that? Like, you're right. I don't have a strategy for after I post. There's a point of view, how it feels to have that friend that wants you to win, the one that claps for you, always hold them close, connective content. What's another one on here? This point of view is kind of connective, but I more so was talking about an update that was going on. But you kind of get the drift. Go to Call Her Creator if you need some inspo on this, but it's going to be that content that makes you say, oh my God, she's talking to me. The second type of content is credibility content. This is your I know what I'm talking about type posts. So this positions you as the expert without screaming, look at me. So if you've been following me for a while, I've always taught, even from the beginning, don't be a look at me account, be a learn from me account. Like, what can people get from me? What value can I add to their life? And so some examples of this would be like, maybe your hook is it's a reel or a carousel, but the hook says, how I got blank result with this approach. Or maybe it's strategic breakdown of something that, like a pain point you had, what you did, why it worked, or a case study, or before and afters, or my client was struggling with this and then we did XYZ and now this is happening. So it's basically like you're explaining to them how to go from X, Y to Z. And this helps build your credibility. Now, the best and easiest way to do this is talking head videos where you're talking to your phone, but I know that can be kind of scary sometimes. So if you're not a talking head type person, you can always get some B-roll that you have from your camera. I mean, this can be simple B-roll, but if you want credibility type content, then I would try to get content of you like behind the scenes at your job, whether you're like working on a strategy, or maybe you're at a speaking engagement, or maybe you're on a Zoom call, or you're just working and you've got the camera there recording stuff. That's your credibility content. That's what's going to build you up as the expert in your industry. The third type of content is conversion content. This is where you actually sell. So this is direct, this is clear, this is confident, this is not fluffy content, right? So examples of this would be something like, here's what's inside my membership and why it works, or here's why you should sign up for Club Influence to grow your following on Instagram, or here's how I made $10,000 from a $19 offer. I'm going to break it down for you. Maybe you're a product-based company. So if you're product-based, you could do, here's why we built XYZ and what makes it different, or what makes it work, or why people choose it. So you're being very direct, you're being confident, you're being clear, and you are selling. Now, one thing to keep in mind, conversion type content does not always get the most engagement, right? Because you're selling. But this is the needle moving content. This is the content that's going to make someone purchase from you. So you cannot sleep on this type of content. And I understand if maybe you're like, okay, I can do this, but maybe I won't post it all the time. That's totally fine. Like maybe doing 1 or 2 conversion type content pieces each week is enough for you. But that's what's going to help you actually sell and not just post fluff. All right, content number 4 is conversation starters. And this is going to be your engagement magnet. This is what's going to help people comment on your content. And the more comments you get, the more engagement that you're getting, the algorithm will favor your account and show it to more and more people because it sees you getting traction on a post. So with engagement content, conversation starters, that's going to be inviting responses, commenting, DMing me, share this with. Some examples of this would be something like a hook that said, unpopular opinion, you don't need to niche down to grow. And then you talk about it and then you say, share this with someone that you know that's struggling with this or something like that. Or are you struggling with niching down right now? Here's what you need to know. And like, if you use that in the caption, that's what's going to get people to respond to you and have a conversation. Another example of this would be something like, what would you do if you had an extra $1,000 this month? So you're asking them point blank, as soon as you open it up with a question, go into it, and then, maybe explain, okay, well, here's how you can make an extra $1,000 a month, blah, blah, blah. And then your caption, go into more detail on it. Other types of conversation starters are not exactly posts on your feed. So like skipping carousels and reels, but just jumping to your stories. If you're using like the polls sticker or the slider sticker and you're asking them simple questions that invite a response, again, that's your conversation starter. The best place to start with conversation starters, typically for me, is in stories because I'm talking to an audience that already knows who I am. They're already following me. And so I'll kind of test that stuff in my stories. And then if I start to see traction there, then obviously I'm going to make that into a reel or a carousel post to get more engagement. And then content piece number 5 is character content. So this is what makes you you. This injects your personality, your style, your energy, and it humanizes your brand. So if you go to the Caitlin Rhodes on Instagram, if you watch a couple of my reels, you can see that I try to be funny. I don't take myself too seriously. I'm kind of like a clown. And you might be listening and being like, yeah, that's cool, Caitlin, but I'm not funny. Okay, that's fine. You don't got to be funny. You don't have to dance. But maybe you take your job really seriously and you're passionate about it and they can see the passion in your content. Or maybe you are a coach or you own this business, but you're also very heavy into wellness. So you're always working out or sharing what you're eating or how you're starting your day. Like those are little ways to sprinkle in your personality with your brand. So many ways to really do this type of character content. But if you're recording little snippets of your day, that's going to be the easiest way to do this. So like maybe you go on a morning walk or you hit up this specific coffee shop every week or you work out, like I said, or you go to the health food store a lot. Take little snippets of that and just save them to your camera roll. And then later on, when you're thinking about posting something, that can be your B-roll in the background. So like, yeah, Caitlin's teaching me about Instagram growth, but I can see she's at yoga right now. So, okay, this girl likes yoga and Instagram. Did we just become best friends? Like this is where you're going to really connect with people. This should kind of fall under connective content too, but I like to call it character content because you do have to step into your power, step into your character. Who are you? Let that shine through your content. All right, so now that I've kind of explained the 5 different content types, let's talk about how to actually use them because this isn't just about knowing what to post, but it's about building a rhythm that supports your brand, your offers, and your energy. So many creators stay stuck, not because they're lazy or they're inconsistent, but because they're trying to post without any type of plan. So just having a framework, that is your plan. So think of this as your framework. So I'm going to nail these down one more time for you. Connective content, credibility content, conversion content, conversation starters, character content. So the 5 C's of content. That's an easy way to remember it. So the first step in utilizing all of these content themes is use this as your weekly content map. And here's what I want you to try. For the next 7 days, I want you to create one piece of content from each category that we went over. Okay. So it would actually be 5 posts. But I'm giving you 7 days. So you've got the next week to post about these 5 different pieces. So connective post, something that says, I see you. Credibility post, something that positions your expertise. Conversion post, yes, you're going to sell. That's what that means. Conversation starter, a post that invites replies or engagement. And then a character post showing off who you are behind your offer, behind the scenes. That's 5 core posts, enough for an entire week without the burnout of daily content creation. Like you already kind of know what your content themes are, so it makes it easier to execute. So let's say you're already posting 3 times a week. Just rotate through these categories. If you can't do all 5, then take, 3 at a time. Because I don't want you to think Caitlin's giving me more homework to do. It's not about that. It's just about posting with purpose. So reframe your mind that way too. Caitlin's not trying to make me do more. She's just trying to make me do it with more purpose. The second step in all of this is to not overthink the format. You want to pick whatever is easiest for you to start. So if you hate writing or creating in Canva, then do a reel. Or if you love writing, but you don't want to be on video this week, you could always do a storytelling carousel. There are a ton of templates in Canva. I'm going to plug in my membership as well. If you are in Club Influence, we try to stay on top of what's trending on social when it comes to Club Influence. So we've got a lot of very trendy Canva templates in there right now. So if you were to come in here and say, okay, I'm going to start with these 5 content pillars, let me go log into Club Influence, and you can go in there and find a specific template that works for you and that piece of content that you want to make. We make it super duper easy, fill in the blank. If you use code CHC when you check out on my Sand store, you can get your first month worth of content for $37. I'm giving you 20% off your first month. So definitely check it out if you haven't. Just go to my Sand store. If all else fails, you don't want to do a carousel, you don't want to do a talking head, then do a B-roll clip. And that's where I'm telling you to document your day, post a few of those together to where it's like a 10-second reel, and then add a little overlay hook and drop the value in your caption. You do not have to show up with your face on camera if you're not feeling like it. Your format is so hard for me because I do think that reels perform the best out of everything. But if it's coming down to you're not going to post because you don't want to create a reel, then I don't care what format you use. I'm more concerned about your message and you just getting it out there. So pick the format that feels easiest for you this week and just let it evolve as you go. Step number 3, I want you to pull real examples from yourself or from others. So this is the biggest, laziest marketing hack, but it actually works. When I'm planning content for clients or for myself, I always start by looking at what already worked. So I'll go into my analytics, I'll look at my last 6 months, and I'll kind of see okay, what post got the highest views? Okay, what post got the most follows? Okay, what post got the most saves? What got the most shares? You can filter in any of those analytics depending on what your goal is for the week. So if you're just trying to reach as many people as possible and you're in a growth sprint, then I would focus on highest reach and highest follows. But if you feel like your engagement has fallen flat, you're not getting a lot of comments, you're not really seeing any DMs, then you might want to focus on the top engaged post. What got the most comments and likes and shares? That's kind of how you can decide which one to do. And then from there, that's your sign to do it again, but with a new spin. So an example of this, credibility content that worked for a client of ours recently, it was a reel breaking down what she does to get XYZ. And so this week, we're taking that same reel that she did that performed really, really well, and we're kind of doing a part 2 of it. So we're going to condense this second version. Typically, I'll tell you to just repost the same exact video using something like fastvideosave.net that allows you to re-download your reel without the watermark and repost it. But for this specific client, we're taking that same piece of content, but we're doing a part 2. So she's going to shorten it a little bit because it was really long the first time and still performed very well. We're going to shorten it, condense it, summarize it, kind of pull out the key parts of it, and she's going to do it again with a slightly different hook, but the same. We're just going to maybe change a few words. For me, a piece of connective content worked for me. It was a post about how I show up scared and how I still made $10,000 from a very low ticket offer during one of the hardest weeks of my life. I do not even change anything on it. I literally download it and just repost it again because it worked so well the first time. So you don't need to reinvent. You just need to repeat what already created the spark the first time. And then step 4, anchor each content type to your offers. This is where creators miss the mark. They create content, but then it doesn't lead anywhere. So let's say you're promoting a new offer. Use your connective content to speak to the pain point that offers some kind of problem solving. Then use your credibility content to show you've walked that path and you've helped others do it. Use your conversion content to make the ask. Call to action. Use your conversation starter content to warm up your audience before or maybe during your promo, getting some engagement in there. And then use your character content to remind them you're human. You're not just a content machine. You're not just selling. You're human. You've been there. You've done that. Here's what you've done to fix it. So your offers should be woven throughout, not just launched and ghosted. I tell people, minimum, you need to be posting about your offer like 7 to 14 times when you launch it. That's minimum. But let these content types build trust towards that sale without sounding too salesy. All right, batch your content this week with a simple framework. So open your notes app and I want you to write connect, credibility, convert, conversation, character. And then I want you to set a timer for 45 minutes, okay? And I want to challenge you to come up with one idea for each content theme. That's it. 45 minutes. If you don't put a timer on this, you're going to overthink. So 45 minutes, just write down what comes to mind when you think of these different content themes. And you're not writing captions yet. You're just dropping the idea in the right bucket. So think of this as your content grocery list. You'll cook it later, but right now you're just shopping for the good stuff. Okay. I love that analogy. Oh, I love it. Last step out of all of this is to remove the pressure. Okay. You don't have to be original every single time. You're allowed to repeat your message. I repeat my message all the time. My content is the same type of content. It's just written in 50,000 different ways. You are allowed to repurpose a post that didn't land the first time because maybe your hook was off or maybe the video was off, but you could still repost it again just to confirm that it didn't hit, because it might. You're allowed to speak directly to the same problem from different angles. Again, that's what I do all the time. Something I want y'all to know is the creators who win aren't the ones with the most original content. They're truly not. They're the ones with the most repeatable content because they post over and over and over and over again. And they've won the content hack of knowing what worked the first time, how can I do it again and again and stay consistent with it. So if you've been feeling like you're running out of things to say, this framework will give you 5 new angles to say the same thing with more impact. If you're listening right now thinking, Caitlin, I still don't know what to post, I promise you this, you don't need more ideas. You need a strategy that you can actually trust. So start with these 5 content types, rotate through them weekly, pay attention to what performs, and tweak as you go. I need you to understand that this isn't about creating perfect content. It's just about creating content that moves the needle, moves your audience, moves your offer, moves you towards the brand you're here to build. And if you want weekly plug and post ideas just like this, you can make sure to sign up for Club Influence. I will put the link in the show notes. We give you trending reels every week, viral hooks, caption templates, Canva templates every single week. And if you use code CHC, I will give you 20% off of your first month for being a Call Her Creator listener. That's a month worth of content for less than $37, guys. It's a no-brainer. Content doesn't have to be overwhelming. It just needs to be intentional. And that is what we will do inside of Club Influence. So if you liked today's episode, please leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to podcasts. And don't forget to screenshot this episode and share it to your stories. Tag me. I love to repost your shout outs to my audience. Bonus points if you are doing your money walk. We need to stay consistent with that. I'm about to get better at my money walk. I took a little vacation for a couple past weeks of July, but getting back into it for August, and I'm ready to make some money moves. But the best way to do that is to grow on a money walk and listen to the Call Her Creator podcast. Thank you so much for being here today, guys. I will see you next week.